It's going to cost me 3 times as much to cook a pizza at 5:30 as it does at 7:01.
Xcel customers fear they're being priced out of their homes.
A lot of energy is used at that time of night, cooking, dishwashers, stoves.
Worried about skyrocketing bills, they contacted Denver 7 for answers.
I haven't been able to get an answer, that's why I contacted you guys.
Metro students want their voices heard. And for their school to take action against harassment.
For them to discredit so many people's stories, it's just awful.
Plus, the state's making sure all kids experience the joy of riding a bike.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm Shannon Ogden.
I'm Ann Trujillo. Rain and snow are making a bit of an adventure for the evening commute home tonight.
Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson joins us now. Mostly wet down here, but we've got some nice heavy snow up in the mountains.
Yeah, that snow level is about 7,500 feet above sea level, so it's not in the Denver area, but it's certainly in the foothills. Here's how it's looked in Denver for today. 37 our current temperature. Remember those readings around 80 yesterday? Well, our readings right now are 31 degrees colder than they were this time yesterday afternoon. And we also have plenty of advisories in effect for the mountains. Winter weather advisories for the mountains for tonight for anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of snow. But there's that rain snow line, Boulder County, Jefferson County, down into higher portions of Douglas County, and some pretty good bands of heavier rain that have been coming through. That's going to continue off and on throughout the evening hours. Rain will change to snow midnight-ish, but it will be ending after that, so I think we'll get an inch or less on grassy areas in the Denver area. But a good soaking rain on the plains and another good dose of mountain snow. So rain below 7,000 feet for the next several hours, gradually working its way down into the metro area. Minor accumulations expected on grassy surfaces, mainly wet roads, but take it easy out there for tonight. And a different story in the mountains and foothills where the roads are snow-covered and slippery.
All right, thanks, Mike. We'll see you in a little bit. Xcel Energy, changing the way it charges its customers.
Moving forward, you'll be charged higher rates depending on the time of day you use electricity.
But some people already have made the switch, and it's also causing some confusion and anxiety.
Contact Denver 7's Russell Haythorne takes your concerns right to Xcel.
With all the talk of inflation,
I'm a grandmother and I'm on a pension.
Tamara Casillas of Denver is paying more for everything, from groceries to gas.
With inflation and everything that's going on in the world, that things are going to go up a little and things are going to get a little harder and rougher for everybody.
So Xcel's announcement that it will be raising rates is yet another blow to her budget. Customers will pay nearly 3 times more during peak hours versus off hours. Peak hours are defined as 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays, just as families are getting home from school and work.
Because that's when we're home watching TV, the kids are on, the laptops or computers doing their homeworks, and, a lot of energy is used at that time of night, cooking, dishwashers, stoves.
It's going to cost me 3 times as much to cook a pizza at 5:30 as it does at 7:01.
This Centennial dad asked not to be identified. You can opt out of the time of use program, but he says he's emailed Xcel twice in 3 weeks for information on opting out and hasn't received a response.
I've sent them 2 messages saying if I opt out of this, what's the flat rate? I haven't been able to get an answer, that's why I contacted you guys.
We contacted Xcel on his behalf and yours and got this response. If you opt out of time of use rates, you pay 12 cents per kilowatt hour in the winter and 14 cents in the summer. If you opt in, you pay 10 cents per kilowatt hour during off-peak hours in the summer and 28 cents during peak hours. In winter, you pay 10 cents during off-peak, 17 cents during peak hours.
I didn't even see the option to opt out in their literature there. You get told what's going to happen, and when you have questions, you get no response from them.
Casillas also wonders how this will impact Xcel's budget billing.
Last year, budget billing was $70 a month, and this year it's already $90.
She too questions the transparency of Xcel's new pricing.
To be sneaky is just not fair to us.
Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
So how can you save money with this time of use pricing? Xcel says the key here is staying flexible. Try to avoid the big energy spenders during those peak times. Things like dishwasher, washing machine, dryer, air conditioner, and try to do these things overnight or on the weekend. Also, avoid using your television or computer during peak hours, and that's not going to save you too much money.
And these changes are important to keep in mind for all Xcel customers. If you haven't switched to time of using pricing yet, your time is coming. Xcel says they plan to transition all customers to this new rate plan by 2025. So if you have any concerns that you would like Contact Denver 7 to look into, please call the number on your screen right now. or you can email us, contact7@thedenverchannel.com. We also have an in-depth look at this time of use plan and how you can save, and you'll find that right now on thedenverchannel.com.
Tonight, Douglas County School Board will approve the contract for the new school superintendent, Erin Kane. She was chosen by the conservative majority board to replace Corey Wise. Now, because of the way that process was handled, school board director David Ray has chosen not to attend tonight's meeting.
For me, after reflecting on the past few weeks of a lot of events that I just felt like were unacceptable as well as unethical, I just felt like that it would be best for me not to participate. Obviously, the contract's going to go through regardless of whether I'm there or not.
Now, Kane was previously director of American Academy Charter School in Dougco.
A few dozen students at Westminster High School walked out of class today saying the school is not properly investigating claims of sexual harassment. The students held signs and chanted, "Hear the victims." They say allegations of sexual harassment were made on an anonymous Instagram page. One student says 100 students made complaints about the same student to no avail.
He's been walking around school with us. I personally don't feel safe here. And for them to discredit so many people's stories, it's just awful.
The school district says there have been no reports of sexual misconduct sent to police. They say the allegations are from comments made years ago. Now, the district also says an employee has been placed on administrative leave in regards to an allegation made before spring break. Westminster police are investigating that. The school's principal is now inviting students to sit down to discuss the school culture. Last week, students at Denver's Northeast Early College walked out over the same allegations or similar allegations. The school sent a letter to parents saying they know of the complaints and agree something needs to change.
The body of a 17-year-old girl was found in a Denver alley this weekend, and Denver police are investigating it as a homicide. Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez spoke with the family and friends of 17-year-old Jasmine Riva Hernandez, who want her name to live on.
Few words can describe the pain the family of Jasmine Rivas Hernandez is living through.
What were her last moments, her last breath, like everything. She was, asking and crying out for help, her family.
Saturday afternoon, Denver police says it received a report of a woman found dead in an alley near the corner of Quebec and Colfax. DPD believes the death was criminal in nature and is now investigating it as a homicide.
She was just a young, beautiful lady trying to figure out her place in this world. She was just so young, still figuring out what she wanted in life. It's just taken too soon. She was only 17. It's just too soon.
Friends who gathered at the site where Jasmine was found say she was a loving sibling and had goals to continue school.
She's been my friend since childhood. So I know her whole family, everybody. She was a good girl. I mean, I never heard of her getting in trouble or anything like that.
Jasmine's grandmother saying she last spoke with her 1 week ago. Heartbroken, she'll never be able to again.
Pues ella lo que quería trabajar, ganar su dinero, salir adelante ella.
She says what she wanted to do was work, make her own money, and get ahead. Robbed of a future, Jasmine's family members want to see justice.
I want this person who did this to pay for this. I want them to pay for the rest of their life for what they did. Like I said, she didn't deserve this. And who knows, they did this already once. Who knows if they could do it again and hurt somebody else.
No more details were released on the girl's cause of death. Her family left to pick up the pieces. Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
Police say this year there have already been 3 juvenile homicides in Denver. They say they are investigating this latest to find out whoever is responsible.
No criminal charges will be filed against a 71-year-old man accused of using a Sharpie marker to create boundaries for a pickleball court on a basketball court at Denver Central Park Rec Center. Instead, he and Denver Parks and Rec will head to mediation to work out any differences. Arslan Gunay faced felony criminal mischief charges for vandalizing the court. His attorneys told us last week that the punishment doesn't fit the crime, and the Denver DA appears to agree. The DA is confident the two sides can come to an agreement.
Kindergartners at a North Denver primary school getting a chance to ride in style. Today, through the All Kids Bike program, bikes were donated to every kindergartner at Global Primary Academy, part of the Mapleton School District. And take a look at how happy these kids are to get these bikes, throw on a helmet and test them out. So HDR Engineering and the BNSF Railway Foundation donated the money for these bikes. A lot of happy kids there. Governor Polis also there. I think he needs to size up a little bit. He helped hand him out. So as part of this program, the kids will be taught how to ride in PE classes.
Bikes are expensive and not every family can afford one. And so again, that's really one of the genesises of this program. And then, B, not all if you got two working parents, those parents might not have time to teach those kids how to ride a bike. And we don't want those to be the barriers that, a kid is, a teen or an adult and doesn't know how to ride a bike.
Right now, the state's targeting areas of the state where families might not be able to afford a bicycle. The governor's office says so far they've helped students at about 10 schools.
On a daily basis. And I was doing like up to 12 a day.
Addiction is hard to overcome.
The fact that it is a disease, it is not a choice, is huge.
And rural Colorado is falling behind.
All of us are touched by it, whether we want to admit it or not.
We take you inside treatment centers, working to bring in more resources.
We want to recover out loud so that we can break that stigma.